So I realized that it's been like almost exactly a year now since I first listened to Chris Tears for the first time. And I was thinking about that because Chris Tears was low key the last album I think I listened to that dead changed my brainwave. We got Angelic Layer, BMS playing on the TV there that I hardly ever use, honestly. It's like an old plasma screen HD television. I hardly be on here. I should probably get a new TV, but I think it's lit because it has VGA ports and composite. So like hypothetically, as a retro monitor, I should use its potential, but whatever. Actually, let's switch up to the different camera, record this bad boy 4:3, make it aesthetically sexual style. So to give some backstory, my senior year of high school, it was some BS. That was like my first experience, um, going into mental hospitals and shit and psychiatric, all that BS. You know what I'm saying? It was a fucked up time. I ain't gonna lie. But I remember when I woke up in the morning, other than like Jovan, Serenity EP, which I've talked about before in the past, there was this trance mix I used to listen to by this YouTuber named Overlane. And that was how I first found out specifically about Angelic Layer. So about every morning I'd listen to the mix, right, by Overlane. And I think it was the second track, or it might have been the first track. Angelic Layer was the first track. And it got to a point where I listened to that so much, like the mix, I was like, that first song is really standing out to me, yo. So I was like, let me look into that. And I went in the description and I saw that it was Angelic Layer by Shiki. So I was like, okay. I went on SoulSeek. I immediately downloaded Chris Steers, which is the album that it was from. Turns out Chris Steers was on my RYM wish list to listen to since like 2022, and I just never tapped in. Shit. I don't know what took me so long, but hey, bro. I guess in a way it was fated to be, so I would have ended up listening to it somehow, some way. So I gave the album a listen. I don't know if I was doing it in school. I might have been literally in school doing it, because I'm gonna be real, like that year, senior year, I stopped giving a fuck. I was in that mode for real. So I probably was literally in class and just went on SoulSeek, downloaded it, refreshed my Music Olay library, and listened to Chris Tears. But I remember specifically, I don't know what day it was. I think it was the I think I checked and it was like the 18th of February, and it was in the morning, so I think it was probably in like my English 4 class or some shit. And instead of listening um to whatever we were doing in there, I think we were reading like George Orwell or some shit. I listened to Chris Tears for the first time. And I didn't immediately fall in love with the whole album exactly. I mean, I was feeling it, but I wouldn't say like it was immediately like, oh yeah, I know this about to be one of my favorite albums ever. But it was a vibe, and it carried me, and it was something I could listen to every morning because it was a chill, artcore trance, kind of uplifting trance album. Um, and it kind of just fit the vibe of how I was feeling at the time. It's a very somber project, and that's really how life was. um I'd always come back to the album, but of course Angelic Layer was the track that stood out. And I remember going on Last FM and checking the comments for the song, and that's actually how I found out Shiki had passed, and I was mad sick about that. I did not know that shit until like April. It had me sick, dude. I remember like at one point Angelic Layer was my alarm to wake up in the morning, bro. Like I was really liking a lot of the songs off the album. I still feel that same way. Like I still give Chris Tears a listen. I still listen to Angelic Layer. I still don't actually know if Angelic Layer is the best song on there though, cause Chant 2, and Sepia are also pretty crazy. But I just think I connected to Angelic Layer the most because I just had, I listened to it a bunch even before actually tapping into Chris Tears. Excuse me, bro. Chris Tears is also unique to me in a way that despite, the lack of words, I love electronic music, don't get me wrong, but it's not too often that I can really say a entire project of some electronic can really make me just feel something that heavy. Even something like Untrue by Burial has vocal chops, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Angelic Layer has that one vocal bit for like 1 second, but like, bro, no, not really, bro. I have yet to like an album as much enough to really fall in love with it ever since I listened to Chris Tears. And it's not even that I stopped listening to music. I mean, I listen to music as much. I mean, I didn't listen to music as much as I did, say, maybe when I was like 15, 14, 16. But I still listen to stuff every once in a while. But nothing has connected to me like Chris Tears right now. I mean, other than the albums I've listened to before Chris Tears that I really liked, of course, bro. And I think it's just because I don't have memories to associate with a lot of shit I'm listening to now. And that really rings true with a lot of things. And I think maybe that may not be why I can really jack media anymore. But I've talked about this before though. Like if you're a Black Star truther and you've been following me for a minute, I've said something similar about anime I was watching at one point when I was still really watching anime. I was saying not a lot of the shit I was watching really hit me because what can it make me feel? Because I don't, when I look at it, I don't remember anything. You know what I'm saying? When I remember Sola, I remember being like 9. What? I remember being 9 in the morning and I was in the bed on a rainy day watching it all. Or I remember staying up all night watching Myself Yourself. You know what I'm saying, bro? I don't really have that no more. And that goes for Chris Tears, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was feeling like some shit, um, and I was kind of in a stage of apathy, you feel me? Um, Especially since this was like post mental house, that it was that time. I think it was more of a crash dummy then though, like than the apathy. I don't know when that really kicked in to full gear. I think at that time I was still feeling anger and anguish on a different type of level than how I even feel now. You know what I'm saying? The point being is I found it at a time, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not necessarily sure what the time is. Now, it's like I'm feeling a evolution, or like I've been kind of like brooding on the same feelings that I felt last year. You know what I'm saying? In a year before that, not much has really changed. And what do I really even do now? You know what I'm saying? Like I just be in a room waking up. There's not much to associate, or there's not much exactly to I can't really put I can't put memories or I can't associate anything with anything other than like maybe just some late night music listening, you know what I'm saying, bro? But I don't know, man. And it's not like when I was like younger and I could kind of look past the dullness because I still was interested, you know what I'm saying, at that point. Like when I was 15, 14, cramming visual novel adaptations because I was really into that stuff at one point. You know, like that was because I liked that. I thought that was swag. That was some cool shit, and I was interested. So I could keep going no matter, you know, how monotonous shit felt. Now, I don't really know what I'm interested in. Like I'm only living off the motivation of that I said I would do some shit 4 or 5 years ago. Like, what are we doing, bro? And this kind of ties back to Chris Tears because Chris Tears has been calming me down for a while now, bro. Like, and you can interpret it in so many different ways, bro. Like, angelic layer can either make me dream of what I wish to become, or it can just make me sad, bro. Yeah, I feel like it'll never leave me, yo. It's not too many things that can do such. And it's easier to put on a 40, 50 minute project, you know, than try and connect with other shit I thought I jacked a lot at one point. I'm a faithful media revisitor, you know. I replay Sonic Adventure every few months in its completion. But this is the thing, like it's only so many times I can do these things because it's like, what am I even really remembering at that point? Like what does Sonic Adventure really mean? I don't really know why I like Sonic Adventure so much. I didn't grow up with Sonic Adventure. I grew up with Sonic Adventure 2, actually. Like, I have childhood memories of that game. I didn't play Adventure till I was like, I don't know, like 13. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, the attachment is not really there, so why? It's just there's not stuff I can come back to and always remember why they mean a lot to me, like Chris Tears, you feel me? Like, I don't come back to stuff that eagerly as much. Like, even with anime sometimes, like Two Heart, I mean, I know why I got into Two Heart and I know what it means, but I don't feel emotional when I think about it. I think the only anime I can really say does that for real, is Sola, or maybe something like Yu Yu Hakusho, Tomorrow's Joe, stuff I watched with my mom, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember, oh yeah, I watched that with my mom, bro. That's pretty, you know, that's something. Most of the stuff though, bro, I was like, okay, it was good, but what that mean? So in a nutshell, I feel like my attachment to things, you know, is very much relying or reliant on memories, and I think Chris Tears allows me to do such. I mean, even when I first listened to that, you know, I'd say I feel like that was when I was first noticing like um how lame life was, you know what I'm saying? Nothing was really happening, you know. I felt like dick, like shit. I didn't really have too many friends at the time. I hadn't been in a relationship at that point in a hot ass minute. You feel me? Um but it still managed to get me because the pain I was feeling at that time was just that crazy. But I guess it was kind of like back then I was still forced to uh confront reality. So I had to at least somewhat try and get my mind off of something. So I had to click to something at least. But now that, you know, I'm free, from all that. And I'm just in a room. Uh, there's no real reality to escape from, excuse me. But I also don't really have the chance to escape from my own antics. You feel me? Like I'm always around myself and only myself and dealing with my BS. And my BS is a lot, bro, to deal with. I ain't gonna lie. I think something about isolation is that when you kind of only have yourself and you're the only person you're around on a day to day basis, except maybe like your mom or your dad, you think about yourself and you analyze yourself the most. And you kind of always come to the same conclusions, bro. It's like, oh my God, I'm tweaking again. You feel me? I'm tripping on a gram again. I'm saying I'm going to do this again. I'm saying I'm going to do that again. Um, I'm getting schizophrenia allegations from fuck niggas on Instagram again. I'm manic again. Like, you know, it's just like, bro, it's really all the same thing. And it's all you have to think about, bro. It wasn't like that at one point. And in a way, that's why I struggle to really make music now, I feel. Because unless I have a specific concept or idea, if I were to talk about my feelings, I feel like I would just be saying the same thing. And it's only so many times I can make songs LARPing about, you know, being in love or loving someone, uh, or being heartbroken when in reality, I haven't felt that way in years. You feel me? Like I can only do that so many times, you know. So when I get a good idea, like a White Album, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's got a theme at least. But if not, it's like, what am I really supposed to do? Oh, or guess I gotta rap about me and Vampire again. I'm angry, but and then it's like dropping it. Cause now I'm to a point where I don't see much value in it in any of my music. Truly, why I don't really know. Like I know people jack it. Like even my father, I always mention it makes me happy that he really jacks my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that always changed, you know, me, and that's probably the only reason why my music is still up on everything. It's because I know he jack it. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Jackie. You know, the family jacking your music means more than any random online. Sometimes, cause those be sometimes they be your biggest haters. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be able to make something where I feel like I can express myself in an interesting way, and I just kind of haven't been able to do such really. So that's why recording has been very limited, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like man, I wish I could make something as good as Chris Tears, or a project as good as Chris Tears, or a song as good as Angelic Layer. You feel me? But maybe that's not for me to judge. You know, that's for someone who listens to me to judge. So maybe it's not about me. I don't know. But at the same time, it is about me. You feel me? Like I create for me at the end of the day. On my last FM, bro, I have like 1,000 scrabbles of my music, bro. Cause I listen to it. Cause some of it means something to me, bro. Like that's really why. That's why I move the way I do. You feel me, bro? I don't know what that had to do with Chris Tears, but I guess. I don't know what I don't know what that specifically had to do with what. I don't know, bro. Chris, that's Chris Tears do to you. That's what angelic layer do to you, bro. You start thinking, bro. You start reflecting. But I've always felt that in the end, I think some of my own conditions are my fault. Like, I stopped giving a fuck about trying a long time ago, and I'm very confident in that. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never felt like, nah, I'm fucking up for not wanting to try. Maybe, but I don't know, bro. I don't care. You feel me, bro? Whether that's good or not, hey, man. But I just think it's over, yo. Because I just keep thinking, like, my life might end any day now. So, who cares? For me, it's like I'm a crash bad during a manic episode and mess stuff up anyway. So, why should I care? You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to my friend Ian, and he actively told me, you know, what I need most in life probably is somebody who can be really close to me, like a relationship or a really, really good friend or something. And I actively rejected that message. Why? Because I don't care. You feel me, bruh? Or I just think it's BS, or I just think I know I can't do that, so why try? That's that's where it's at, bro. So really, I guess in a way, my life ended when I fell in love with Chris Tears. I mean, maybe you could argue it was over when I started listening to that overlaying mix with Angelic Layer in the morning. And it's been almost a year. In a few days, it'll be almost a year since then. And looking back at what's changed since when I listened to the album for the first time, fucking nothing, bro. That's all I have to say. So really, I guess in a way, my life ended when I fell in love with Chris Tears. I mean, maybe you could argue it was over when I started listening to that overlaying mix with Angelic Layer in the morning. And it's been almost a year. In a few days, it'll be almost a year since then. And looking back at what's changed since when I listened to the album for the first time, fucking nothing, bro. That's all I have to say.